of the color for skin. Today we celebrate that. And I believe we take his philosophical principle in the I have a dream speech to knit it and practice it to fit our narrative as Africans as we continue to sojourn to release our potential. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a man of great dignity, a servant leader, and a man of excellence, Honorable Ambassador Dr. Malik Nadim Abid, Secretary General and Ambassador at Large at the International Human Rights Commission of New York, who will raise the banner to kick us off with opening remarks and a welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone, and very, very happy New Year. First of all, my apologies. My screen shows my Chief of Staff's name, Dr. Tanya Lasker. I'm not Dr. Tanya Lasker. Just like Tendra said, my name is Ambassador Malik Nadim Abid, and it's a great honor and pleasure for me to open up this beautiful event, and great honor for me to represent the continent of Africa today. I'm proud to be a son of Africa for the day. Let me say a few words first about my work, a little bit about my work, and then, of course, we'll move on. Last year, I traveled to 87 countries around the world to promote peace, and especially for the youth empowerment and women empowerment. 2022, I traveled to 104 countries. And in these 2 years, especially last 3 years, I traveled to almost 51 countries in continent of Africa. And I'm so proud of it, so proud of it. But let me explain you what I saw in Africa. I saw 3 different segments, and I'm going to explain it to you. First, I saw what everybody sees when they visit Africa: poverty, corruption, violation of human rights, the corruption of the political leaders. But I also saw what many people don't see. I saw love. I saw care. When I went there, I did not feel in any of the countries in entire continent, 51 countries I visited, I did not feel myself to be a stranger. I felt like I'm at home. And thirdly, what I saw, what most of the people when they travel to Africa, they don't see. And that is hope. That is determination of the youth. That is the hard work of the youth to make Africa the world leader. And let me assure you, if you, the young leaders of Africa, if you get together what you're doing, and I'm so proud of my young leader, Mary Apollo, and of course, Telendra, and of course, my very dear brother and my leader, Dr. Daniel. The young leaders like this, if you continue working hard the way you are working, I can assure you there is no way in the world the Africa will not lead the world. Africa will have to lead the world, but you have to continue working. And remember, I'm always on your side. And I would love to see your resources. Africa is the richest continent with the natural resources. There is so much of the money and the resources that there should not be even 1% of the population below the poverty level. We will together make Africa the richest continent. And you all working hard, and I'm so proud of you. So let me welcome you all again, and congratulations to all the honorees. It's a beautiful day. We are celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was not an activist only. He was not a political leader or religious leader only. He gave a hope to the world when he said, I have a dream. But let me also tell you, if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was alive today, he would have been very, very disappointed to see the world full of bloodshed, full of killings, full of hatred, full of division. You, the young leaders of Africa, you will have to fight back. You will have to fight back. Can you please turn off your microphone? Somebody's microphone was on. So you, the young leaders of Africa, you are going to unite Africa, and from Africa, you will take this movement around the world. Remember, no more wars, no more hatred, no more unnecessary killing. And Quran says, killing of one innocent person is like killing the whole humanity. Look at in your surroundings. In the whole world, people are being killed only to steal their resources, only to defeat their political ideologies. We are going to fight back and we are going to make this world a peaceful world. My question to you all, my dear young leaders of Africa, are you willing to fight back? Are you prepared to fight back? And let me assure you, if you are prepared and you are willing to fight back, we will make this world more peaceful and prosperous, not only for you, the young leaders, but for the generations to come. Congratulations to all the honorees again. God bless you all and God bless America.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Malik, for such an empowering speech. I can assure you that as the young leaders, yes, we are ready to fight against corruption. Yes, we're ready to stand in unity and make this world a better place. We will not let the efforts of those who went before us go in vain. With great leadership and mentorship, we will get there. So thank you so much for the empowering speech, for the welcoming remarks. Thank you, Dr. Malik. Now, moving on to the next segment of our program, we're going to have an introduction to this wonderful virtual celebration by our Honorable Chairman Selection Committee, Mr. Jefta Akbol. Mr. Jefta, over to you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed guests and members of the global community, I am Jefta Agbo from Ghana. And it is with immense honor that I welcome you to the Four Directions 2024 Reverend Martin Luther King Day celebrations. As the chairman of the selection committee, navigating through a sea of remarkable individuals within the diaspora, our journey led us to those who truly embody the spirit of Reverend Dr. King. Gratitude resonates as we acknowledge the painstaking efforts of our awardees and the collaborative energy of 6 organizations across the USA, Guinea, South Sudan, Nigeria, Europe, and Ghana. Today, we unveil the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. African Diaspora Leadership and Recognition Award. This distinguished honor pays homage to those who champion peace, nonviolence, and advocate for inclusion, equity, and human rights. As MLK Day echoes across the USA, let us celebrate those who exemplify Dr. King's techniques, uplifting African communities. With pride, I congratulate the recipients of the MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award.
Thank you so much.
Certificates of recognition will also honor organizations collaborating to promote Dr. Martin King's ideals. This award inspires appreciation for those going beyond, urging more organizations to contribute to our shared legacy. Thank you very much. And once again, I say congratulations to everyone receiving the award. You deserve it.
Absolutely. I echo that. Thank you so much, Mr. Jefta, for those opening remarks. And I echo every sentiment. We are truly here because of the commendable work that our great leaders have been making waves across the diaspora and also in Africa. And for that, we're grateful. We're going to now move on to the woman of the hour who has brought us together in this very moment, Miss Mary Apollo, for the founder of Four Directions. We're so thankful to you, Miss Mary Apollo, for all the incredible work that you're doing, the banner that you're lifting up for us youth to keep running our race regardless of all odds. Over to you, ma'am, to give your opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Tatinda. Ladies and gentlemen, estimated guests, young African professional youth, then the awardees, all the youth from around the globe. Good morning. Welcome to our celebration of today. My name is Mary Apollo. I am from South Sudan. I'm a youth ambassador. I'm the founder for Four Direction, and I lead a group of young African professional youth in the diaspora. I'm based in the US. Today, I'm honored to welcome you to our celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Four Direction African Diaspora Leadership Award 2024. It's bring a great pleasure to join billions around the world who are celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Day. But we don't stop there. We are also recognize outstanding, talented leaders in the African community who have gone beyond uplifting the ancestor land and also did work for the communities here in the US. These remarkable individuals have become shining beacon for hope, proudly embodying the virtues of the great man we are celebrating today. Just like Dr. Martin Luther King, their action reflects a commitment to peace, nonviolence, and inclusion in the African communities across the diaspora. Our selection committee worked diligently to establish the criteria of the MLK recipient awards of the organizations, and these are some of the criteria. Embedding Martin Luther King legacy in character, action with a commitment to fairness and equity. Advocating actively for peace and working towards establishing sustained peace within the African context. Also providing evidence of concentrate examples of individual impact and effort towards building better progressive society. Demonstrating leadership and creativity. In final, awardees have exceeded these criteria, showcasing exceptional leadership and creativity on the global stage, empowering millions and inspiring a lot of young people. Allow me briefly to share my dream of a better life. Growing up in Sudan, I went through hardship on the society and on the cultural norms, also for my expectation as a young female and the roles that I supposed to play in the community. I discovered a passion into leadership in the age of 17. Despite struggling of my gender and age, I perceived work in media, organizing young people, and also I was able to represent the young female in the international platform. People who haven't get the opportunity to represent their voices. My journey led me to pursue education, and I graduated from university. In 2016, I came to the United States to do a fellowship funded by the State Department, which brought me to develop my skills, to help me build the inclusive society that I want. Inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Library, the first place that I visit when I arrived to the United States, a need for young leaders in Africa. I found it Four Directions. These organizations aim to empower young people, especially vulnerable groups like youth and women, by providing resources and training through initiatives like the Global Emergency Disaster Responder Network. We mobilize youth globally to address critical issues such as COVID-19, climate change, and human rights violation. Our platform continues to evolve, connecting a diverse group of young people, showcasing emerging and established leaders, and mobilize youth worldwide. In the last 3 years, we have collaborated with the local and international NGOs government agencies and organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank. We did some work with the State Department, the African Union, and also UNICEF and many other organizations. As we honor our awardee today, let us celebrate those who go beyond in inspiring a new generation of leaders. I encourage organizations to recognize and support emerging leaders genuinely representing Africans. Together, let us dedicate ourselves to making Africa a great continent, a blessing to the human race. Congratulations to our awardees, and thank you to the UN Assistant Secretary General, our partner, and also the member, all the Four Directions and the Youth Association worldwide. Let us keep our dedication alive, working towards a bright future for African. Thank you and God bless you. Happy Martin Luther King Day. But before I conclude, actually, I want us to take 1 minute of grief of our father, one of our mentor, Dr. Ambassador Fudai Mansouri, that we lost during the COVID. And he is the one who founded the Global Emergency Disaster Responder, and he inspired us, and he was helping to bring a example of young leaders to the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mary. And we say rest in peace to the legacy of the late ambassador. And we're truly grateful for how he led and inspired many youth and the people around the globe. May his legacy live on and may his soul continue to rest in peace. Ms. Mary, I am truly inspired by the incredible work that you have been doing. I am in awe of the young woman you are and how you continue to inspire and empower young African people across the diaspora and in the African continent. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, and may you be comforted and encouraged in knowing that we're all here rallying behind you to support your dream, to support your vision until we become the change we want to see in our community. With that being said, I also hand it over back to you to introduce the special guest who has the presentation for us before we move on with our program. Back to you, Ms. Mary Apollo.
Hi, so I have a great honor. Let us welcome Ambassador Eunice Reddick. She's a former retired ambassador from the State Department. So she's going to welcome the panel and address us. Welcome, Ambassador Eunice.
Thank you, Mary. And good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I didn't expect to have a speaking role, and I have some technical problems because of the recent snow, and I think it's a power line issue. But briefly, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be with this illustrious group of activists, and you're all activists in very different ways, I think, in terms of the directions you have taken, but again, affecting the youth of Africa, and ultimately the youth of the world. We know where the energy lies in this world, on this globe. We know where the power lies, and it's on the continent of Africa. And I know some of you, Melfoot, he has been pushing and he's been supporting for decades. And I'm so happy to see young people now involved in relations between Africa and the US. And also the fact that we have a diaspora that has grown tremendously in the US, where I think we've seen the energy take on a very, very different level, drawing on the education and employment opportunities here that generate wealth. And I'm very happy to see some of that wealth going back to the continent, seeing that technology go back to the continent. So Congratulations to the winners, and I commend Mary and her colleagues who have been working so hard. They've been working here in the U.S., internationally, multilaterally, again, with UN agencies and other international organizations. Job well done. Keep up the good work. And I'm happy to be here and may have to leave if, I get a little technical problem. So sorry. But again, thanks for the invitation, Mary. And again, congratulations to all the awardees.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Eunice. Thank you so much for her inspiration. She had been working with young people, and she was one of my mentor. Also, she served most of her career representing the U.S. government in Africa, and she was the former ambassador to Gabon. So thank you so much. That's a great honor.
And you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I hand the program to Mr. Tinda, our MC for today. Move off to the next agenda in our program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Mary. Ambassador, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you that against the odds of technology, you made it too, and we could hear you loud and clearly. I completely relate. The snow has us indoors and just trying to figure life out. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. It's a pleasure and honor to have you. Now, moving on to what we've all been waiting for. I need some drum rolls. I need drum rolls. Your drum rolls. This is the moment we've been waiting for to celebrate, to honor, to uplift, the awardees that have been causing massive waves, impact, and everlasting legacies here in the diaspora and in the continent. We're super thankful for all the work, the dedication that they've been making towards peace, equality, and making us dignified humans. I truly look up to the principles of humanity that they've upheld, and I am more than honored and truly humbled to be presenting us and stewarding us in the next segment of our program, which is the award ceremony. So with the help of Miss Mary Apollo, and also her team, please be stewarding me. If I make any mistakes or anything, please be stewarding me in the right direction. But I would like to introduce our first awardee, who is Dr. Nelson O. Aluya. I do not think he's on the call right now, but please let us give him a round of applause as I read out his bio and as we honor the great work that Dr. Nelson has been doing in our community and the world above. Dr. Nelson O. Aluya, MD, stands as a distinguished US-based internist and pediatrician with over 21 years of exemplary service. Currently serving as the national president of the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, he is not only a medical professional, but also a leader dedicated to social justice. Dr. Aluya's extensive career includes notable contributions to medical education, recognition for teaching excellence, and humanitarian efforts globally. He has received prestigious awards, including the Distinguished Humanitarian Award and the Global Humanitarian Award. Beyond his medical roles, Dr. Aluya holds influential positions in various leadership capacities, contributing to youth-based environmental initiatives and global outreach organizations. His impactful medical missions in undeserved regions and commitment to advocacy for individuals of African descent, particularly Nigerians, have earned him global recognition. Dr. Aluya's multifaceted contributions make him a revered figure in the medical community, the African community, and beyond. From the Four Directions team and all of us Africans youth in the diaspora, congratulations, Dr. Aluya. Let's give him another round of applause. On next, I know that we have the Honorable Miss Ramatu with us here online. Please allow me, ma'am, to honor you by first reading your bio before we proceed to presenting your award certificate to you. Miss Haja Ramatu Ahmed is dedicated community leader, renowned for her role as the founder of the African Life Center and her passionate advocacy for youth empowerment and social justice. Her impactful initiatives include educating the community about COVID-19, advocating for vaccine accessibility, and preserving human dignity, particularly for women and children. As the first female secretary of the Yankasa Association of the U.S. Incorporated and a former executive of the National Council of Ghanaian Associations in New York, Ms. Ramatu's influence extends beyond her community. With a diploma in integrated rural development from the Pan-African Institute for Development in Cameroon, she actively engages in activities focused on preserving human dignity. Ms. Ramatu has received numerous accolades and awards, such as being recognized as one of the top 100 United Nations human rights defenders in 2021. Her commitment to peace and service is evident through her role as a peace ambassador. Ms. Ramatu's service is further acknowledged through awards like the Community Leadership Award and the Leadership Award from various organizations. In her own words, Ms. Ramatu emphasizes the importance of extending a helping hand to those in need. What an amazing bio. Congratulations from the Four Directions team, Ms. Ramatu, and over to you for a brief speech if you would like to grace us with that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, let me see the name again. Tanda?
Yeah, Tanda, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Tanda, thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. You introduced me as if you have known me for the past years. And I also want to acknowledge the Four Directions, Mary Apollo, Dr. Daniel. I know how difficult it is to work with people. It's normal. You know, we are not the same. I know how difficult it is to mobilize people, and it's very difficult as an immigrant when you are in the country and you want to help your people. So Mary Apollo, I also want to encourage you to continue with this work. It's not going to be easy, but I always say that when there's no challenges in your life, then there's something wrong with you. You know, it's something that should come handy, but it is up to you to know how you can navigate these challenges to become a better person in life. So with saying that, I would also like to say that I embrace this award wholeheartedly. I am really thrilled that I'm receiving this award, and I would like to really dedicate this award to the youth around the world and women around the world. I am a strong believer of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And earlier on, I mentioned how I got to know Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't know whether when I was speaking, it was part of the program. I don't know, but you know, I heard about him when I was in a 99-cent store when it was Martin Luther King's Day, and his speeches were being presented on the radio. So I captured the senses, of what he was saying, and I asked a customer. The customer then told me a brief information about Martin Luther King. And since then, I fell in love with him. And he's my role model, and I try to emulate what he did. And as a community leader, I know it's not easy for me. We have to leave this. I'll reserve this for another day when you are working in the community, in the area of inclusion, equity. It's not easy. So I acknowledge this wholeheartedly. I'm even short of words. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start. Again, thank you for awarding me, and I'm going to do the work well, and I'm going to work with all the youth. And again, I'm proud of you guys. I need to start because I'll continue and continue. I don't know how to. I'm really excited about this award. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Ramatu. We share in your excitement, and we are more than happy to be celebrating you and to be cheering you on to keep going and to keep doing the work that you're doing. We need more voices to speak up. We need more female African voices to be speaking up. So we're really thankful that we sit again at the feet of the wise and we continue to learn from the incredible work that you've been doing. Once again, congratulations, Ms. Ramatu, on receiving the Four Directions MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next awardee. Please help in welcoming and celebrating Chief Dr. Daniel, who serves as a mentor to most of us. I think it's quite fair to say all youths in Africa, truly, because he's such a remarkable man. Dr. Daniel, please allow me to read your bio before I give it over to you. Chief Dr. Daniel is a prominent public figure and global health consultant based in the United States. He stands out as a leader at the intersection of healthcare and environmental advocacy. Currently holding a senior position at Brigham and Women's Hospital at a Harvard University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Daniel is the founder of Team 54 Project International. His collaborative initiatives focus on global sustainable development goals, social determinants of health, and climate action, with impactful projects spanning eco-agrosystems, forestation, and renewable energy advocacy in vulnerable communities worldwide. Dr. Daniel is recognized with prestigious awards, including the President's Volunteer Golden Service Award and acknowledgement from President Joseph Biden. Dr. Daniel's influential background extends to memberships in key organizations like the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee and the World Medical Association. Serving as a World Health Organization ambassador and the UN SDGs brand ambassador, he collaborates with renowned institutions globally, showcasing a commitment to impactful global change. His multifaceted expertise, academic achievements, and dedication to mentoring the next generation exemplify his outstanding contributions. Dr. Daniel, words can never truly express how profoundly proud we are of you and grateful to have you as a mentor. Congratulations to Dr. Daniel on receiving the Four Directions MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award of 2024. Over to you, Dr. Daniel, to give us your speech and remarks.
Thank you so much, Tanda. You're doing excellently well. I remember some years ago when we were having our mentorship session, you've always shown that brightness, you're always articulate. Your Excellency, Secretary General of the International Human Rights Commission Fund Trust, Your Excellency, Ambassador Eunice Riddick, Your Excellency, the Secretary General of the Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations Youth Office. He has sent his apology. And then our leaders in the community, Mrs. Ramatu, she was instrumental for my first university teaching gig, you know, on sustainable development goal and climate change. I got paid because of her. So I'm forever grateful. And she had led us a lot in many of the job and employment and community-based program within the New York, New Jersey, tri-state areas. So she's definitely known to us for the last 7 years. I also want to recognize and especially thank before the world, Marvin Foutin. Many of you don't know, like many of you were asking me, most of the reasons why we do not have too much of Africans being pulled to much of terrorism, especially those of us in the Sahel, is because of Marvin Foutin, his team, and President Obama. I will explain. So President Obama, Marvin Foutin, and all his team, they thought it wise many years ago. This is more than 12 years ago, to create a program called the Young Leadership Initiative. The idea around it is to bring young emerging people to see how they can address community-based problems, localized solution, work hand in hand with people, create leadership. So that program is what you now hear as YALI or Mandela Washington Fellowship. So I can assure you, from the last time I saw, and this 3 years ago, 7 million people directly have benefited. There are even some government officials who celebrate them when they finish. They celebrate all fellows when they finish, from Ghana, Liberia, all of Africa. So Marvin Foutin is very known. I've not seen him personally, but he's very known to me. More recently, when President Biden reached out to many of us in diaspora, young people, that he's going to have a special day with us because he wants to discuss with our heads of state. Marvin Forte was one we went to for, how do we write a policy direction? How do we guide? He was the one that gave us guidance and steps on how to engage, how to be civil, how to press on, he's a blessing any day. So for every Africans, whenever you hear of Marvin Forte, or you hear of Obama, we're really in thanks of them, because even combined together, they have done way more than any African government has done to train their best minds to be better. Mali is better off because of Marvin Forte. Eritrea is better off because of Marvin Forte. They have reduced terrorism. I'm sorry I'm taking a lot of time, but because we are streaming live, I just want people to realize that there are always people at the background doing excellently well to help people, and to remind Americans who watch this that policies that you do have sweeping impact on people. If you refuse to invest on those who need the help the most, they become a problem for you, your taxpayer, and then they begin to transition or come down in one way or the other into your country. So the policy to ensure that we invest directly on young people on the continent of Africa is money well spent. And Marvin Forte, I'm very grateful, sir. May your days be long, and may all your children be blessed. I also want to thank, O'Neill. She works in the World Bank, and Professor Nelson. All of these awardees, I don't think I should stand by them, because these guys are unbelievably, and ladies are unbelievably unique. And this is a lesson for all our young people. I understand that times are hard. Don't get me wrong. It's always easy to sit here and see all the success, but behind me are massive numbers of team. Team 54 Project, our non-profit-based organization that I run, has membership in all African countries and 70 other countries. So I'm just the face you see. They are the ones that get the job done. They are the ones in their own little way making things happen. And not only that, always be willing to volunteer, share your ideas with other people. No, it's my idea. They'll steal it. It's okay if your idea is taken and used to bless millions of people. It's okay if you don't get recognized, but it's very important that you do everything to ensure humanity moves forward. That's what it means to have a dream. To have a dream is a process where all the visions that you have can be channeled in such a way that it creates platform for people to spring, or platform for you to spring, or platform for those that share common value for you to spring. So the dream in itself is a process that should inspire you, help you, hold you accountable to yourself, and ensure that you achieve your dream. I also want to thank the chairman of the selection committee in Ghana. He has been tirelessly, reaching out to us, and again, in his speech, he has made it clear that we must learn to always recognize the heroes within ourselves. Many of us don't wear cape like Superman and Spider-Man. We must recognize our elders. We must respect them. And I love, finally, our leader, Mary. Mary Apollo has been a blessing to many of us in the United States. I can mention names. People from Congo, they love her. People from North Africa, they love her. She has always been spot on, creating platforms to showcase how best our minds are. She has a podcast on social media that she uses and brings in established, emerging, entrepreneurs. How did you get this done? And that's what we want. Platforms that help our people know that there's a resources here and you can do this. Even if I cannot provide the resource for you, Mary will reach out to State Department. Mary introduced me to State Department people. She did not need to do that. She did that, and they were able to do a lot of things, for our organization. And Mary works with the African Union and many other groups across the board. So I am eternally grateful, Mary. We're proud of you. We will always support you. And as Marvin Forte has said, we should be proud of where we come from. We should continue to liaise and build bridges with our counterparts here in the US. We should make them realize in our deeds and in our actions and in our volunteerism here. And we should also learn to plow back some of our things back home. Back home requires a lot of things. Our leaders, I know, that are leading us have disappointed us, but the truth still remains that we have to learn to work with them and hope that when we get there, we do not become even the monsters that we accuse them of. I am very confident that young people all over the world will wake up one day and we will change this narrative. I am very confident in Ghanaians, in Liberians, in Gabon, in South Africa, in Tunisia, in Madagascar, every single African country. I know young people are just waiting. I just want them to take the process seriously, register political parties, begin to enter agreements on what you do for the people, start locally to elect your people to the various arms of your respective nations. Do not fight anyone. Show results, show alternative solutions to problem, mobilize massively when it comes to election, stand behind the party that will drive your aspirations and your vision. Stop being the file carrying person. Stop being the special advisor. It's time for you to be the ambassador, vice president, president, chief of army staff, chief of defense staff. It's time for you to be taking charge. It's time for you to ensure that the vision of the sustainable development goal are delivered. Once again, I want to thank my parents. I know they're all watching. I'm super proud of you guys. I want to thank my lovely wife. She is the main person that guides my vision. I want to thank my kids who will be seeing this when they are 13. Your daddy is working along with these wonderful people to change the world. So Kendo, your responsibility in this life is to strive so hard to be a blessing to mankind, because that's what Martin Luther King has done. He has set that precedence for us, and that's what we must do. I also want to thank my community members who are watching all the way in Africa. Thank you so much for all your prayers. Things will get better, my people. What is key now is that we start to identify within ourselves those that are credible and honest, and then things will get better. So I thank you all, and I wish you a happy Martin Luther King Day. When I was 9 years old, sorry, before I go, my Martin Luther King experience, I was 9 years old when a Ghanaian teacher then in Nigeria introduced us to Martin Luther King as a comprehension. And immediately finished reading about it, I asked, are you sure this guy is an African? He said, yes. And he has all these kind of wonderful things. He said, yes. He showed me some more materials. And I said to myself at 9 years old, this is the man I would be. You understand? And I'm happy that I am here. I will be leaving in the next 10 minutes to go and make another presentation, at a gathering. The Harvard Medical School's largest teaching hospital, Mass General Brigham here in Boston, has invited me to make some presentation to about 80,000 staff, both in person and hybrid. I will be attending in person. So I am blessed. I'll take this message from the entire Africa to them, that African young people, African young professionals, they're willing. And I'm also reaching out to all our heads of state. Young people are not here to compete with you. We're only here and eager. The urgency is in us to make life better, because we know very soon we will transition out of this phase, and then we have young kids that we need to give a legacy for. So please, if you are hearing this and you're watching this, young people are not your enemy. It's time we work together as Africans. It's time you fulfill the desires of your people, because that's where your blessing lies. If you seek the peace of your people, your peace will be established, not in getting guns to shoot your own people, not to getting guns or not to take their funds, not to swallow everything for yourself and your family. You just have to learn to prioritize for your people. When you do that, they'll sing your praise and they'll fight for you. Thank you, and God bless Africa.
Amen. God bless Africa indeed. Thank you so much, Dr. Daniel, for invigorating and empowering words. I continue to remain in awe of all the things that you have accomplished. You have shown us as the youth that it can be done. We're never too young to start. We are never too unqualified to begin our journey, our vision. And thank you so much for being a trailblazer and a pioneer for us, the youth, and really showing us that it can be done. Once again, from Four Directions and all of us, congratulations on receiving this prestigious award. We look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you'll continue to do in our society and the world beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Dr. Daniel mentioned it in his speech, the amount of work that this honorable man has done, Mr. Malvin P. Fute. In my language, we do this to say thank you. Thank you, sir, for all the work that you have done to impact nations, to change lives, and to change the lives of generations to come. It is not underrated. We see it, we celebrate it, we honor you. So our next awardee is Mr. Malvin Fute. I'm sorry. I will go ahead and present his bio and also give him his few minutes of fame to give us his speech. Mr. Malvin P. Fute has over 40 years of dedicated work on African issues. He's a highly esteemed figure in both Africa and Washington, D.C. As the founder and president of the Constituency for Africa, a 32-year-old nonprofit based in DC, he has demonstrated unwavering commitment to advocating for Africa in the United States and throughout the diaspora. Leading CFA, he focuses on educating the public about Africa, shaping U.S. policies towards the continent, and promoting Pan-African cooperation to the African American Unity Caucus. Beyond nonprofit leadership, Mr. Fute operates Africa Advisory Services, facilitating business initiatives in Africa and addressing U.S.-related issues for African clients. With experience spanning over 40 African countries, including a pivotal period as a U.S. Peace Corps volunteer in Eritrea and Ethiopia, his career includes serving as country director for Africa in Somalia. He has played a crucial role in high-level missions addressing critical issues like the genocide in Rwanda and contributing to peace initiatives in Sudan and Ethiopia, Eritrea. Decorated as a Knight of the National Order by the Republic of Mali and named one of the 500 most influential Africans in the world, Mr. Malvin Fute's impactful voice in advocating for Africa's development resonates globally. Sir, congratulations to you on receiving the Four Directions 2024 MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing. We are honored, we are humbled to be in your midst, basking in the glory of your legacy. Over to you, sir, to give your speech and remarks.
Wow, thank you very much. First, let me say this is a wonderful way to start the new year. And I have to say now I feel like I'm in 2024. So I really, I'm humbled, I'm deeply humbled by all this. So to all the dignitaries here, all protocols observed, I want to say a special thanks to Mary Paulo, who I know around Washington. You know, you get all these young people who come at you in Washington, and sometimes, you know, you want to just push them away. You know, but Mary was very persistent. We were at a conference and she came and said, I want to talk to you. And so we actually walked out, went to a little conference room and sat and talked for a half hour or so. But I'm awed. Once I saw this program coming together, I was like, wow, I didn't realize who I was talking to. So I really want to applaud Mary Apollo for her persistence and her dedication. I really want to say thank you to all of you. You know, this is really inspiring. In my work, you always want to know if anybody behind you. Are there other people coming up? And this program is telling me that there's a horde of young people who are getting the message, you know, and who are coming up. You know, the biggest thing I work on is trying to connect the African diaspora to Africa. I try to connect the African diaspora to each other. I want African Americans to know African immigrants. I want African immigrants to know Africans in the Caribbean. I work with the African diaspora in Canada. My whole thing is this year we're going to focus on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And so we're already having conversations on how do we connect the African diaspora to support the African Continental Free Trade Area. I think Kelly Minna, who's an old friend, a really dynamic young guy who's leading that, I think this is the most effective demonstration of Pan-Africanism today. And so we got to connect and make sure we understand things. Let me say that I've always reached out to the next generation. Yali came to bear. President Obama sent one of his deputies to me and said, what should I do to help Africa? It came at a time when the U.S. economy was very, very bad shape. And Obama comes to the White House, first black man in the White House, and he said, what can I do? The U.S. economy was in wreck. He couldn't do what his predecessor George W. Bush did. George Bush committed $20 billion for HIV/AIDS in Africa. So Obama didn't have those kind of resources. So I told him, I said, don't spend your time on these old guys. Don't spend your time on Mugabe and Biya and Bashir and all of the old African leaders. Spend your time with the young ones coming up, this next generation. And that really became the seed for what we now know as the Young African Leaders Initiative, or the Mandela Washington Fellows. And so I'm very proud of that. I think it's the best program ever from the U.S. government in support of Africa. You really are empowering the next generation, and I'm confident that we're going to see Yali presidents. We already saw a Yali trade minister in Botswana. We're going to see Yali permeate throughout the continent. And the biggest thing about Yali is that the one from Senegal is meeting the one from Ethiopia, and the one from Swaziland is meeting the Nigerian. So Africans are meeting Africans. And I think that they're both very well for the future. I'm really excited about this Four Directions. I want to compliment you on what you're doing. I think it's absolutely correct how you're pursuing it. Anything I can do to add value to it, to help support it, know that you got a brother in Washington who you can count on. You know, it's really interesting. I've been involved in Africa for now over 50 years. I started out as a Peace Corps volunteer. I spent 7 years on the continent. I speak Amharic, I speak Tigrinya, I speak some Somali, I speak some Arabic. You know, and I'm very rare among African Americans who know Africa. I went to Africa at a time when nobody knew anything about Africa. I really thought that Tarzan would be at the airport to take us to the village in a herd of elephants because we had no knowledge whatsoever about Africa. My father said, boy, you're going to get eaten by a lion. I still went to Africa, you know. I went there in search of adventure. I went there to search of my people. And I figure if I can help African people, that's helping Black people too. And so I've been involved in Africa now more than 50 years. And I'm looking to handle, I'm working on my book. And the book is really going to be lessons learned aimed at the next generation. So you don't have to go through some of the trials and tribulations that I've gone through. Maybe you can skip some of that and go directly to, I want to also acknowledge Ambassador Reddick. I haven't seen her for a long time. I'm very happy that she's here. Wonderful person, wonderful. I'm glad to see that you're reaching out to her. I just really, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking because this is really celebration. But I just want you to know I'm very honored. I'm deeply honored. I'm deeply appreciative of this honor. And I'm looking forward to getting the video because I'm going to share it all over the diaspora. Everybody will see this video because I think young people across the globe need to know that there is an organization called Four Directions, led by Mary Apollo, that's doing that's positioning itself to really have the global impact that we all deserve and we all need. So I want to say just thank you all for this deep honor. I'm humbled. It's rare that you can humble me. I've gotten awards from all kinds of places. I'm a knight in Mali. The Senegal gave me their top honor. I'm headed for Tanzania the first week of February to work on the issue of cancer in Africa. And we're going to be launching something. So I'm looking forward to going to Tanzania. But every time I go to Africa, I always reach out to the Yali alumni who are from that country. You know, I always look at the next generation. I think it's not only something that we need to do. If we really want this work to go forward, we got to make sure that we're reaching out and supporting those who are coming behind us. So thank you very much for this honor, and anything I can do to advance the cause, know that you can count on me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reverend Putin, for such an incredible speech. All the best with all your future endeavors as you also travel to Tanzania and all the work that you do there. I personally am looking forward to your book. I hope I get a book signed.
Signed and everything. For sure. You got it. You got it.
Thank you so much. And once again, our heartiest congratulations on you receiving this award. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to acknowledge Dr. Nelson, who was our first awardee. He has now joined the call. Dr. Nelson, welcome. We are so honored that you were able to join us. And allow me to reread your bio and have you get the certificate because we had missed you. And so allow me to quickly go over your bio again, and we'll give you your few minutes of fame to give us your remarks and speech. Again,
thank you.
You're welcome. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nelson O. Oluya stands as a distinguished US-based internist and pediatrician with over 21 years of exemplary service. He currently serves as the national president of the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. He's not only a medical professional, but also a leader dedicated to social justice. Dr. Oluya's extensive career includes notable contributions to medical education, recognition for teaching excellence, and humanitarian efforts globally. He has received prestigious awards, including the Distinguished Humanitarian Award and the Global Humanitarian Award. Beyond his medical roles, Dr. Oluya holds influential positions in various leadership capacities, contributing to youth-based environmental initiatives and global outreach organizations. His impactful medical missions in underserved regions and commitment to advocacy for individuals of African descent, particularly Nigerians, have earned him global recognition. Dr. Oluya's multifaceted contributions make him a revered figure in the medical community, the African community, and beyond. Please help me to congratulate Dr. Nelson on receiving the Four Directions 2024 MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award. Dr. Nelson, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I mean, that very elating introduction, it's incredible. It just makes you want to jump right back to work, doing the great work that you perceive to be doing. And I must begin by saying, sorry, I'm joining in late. You know, a few emergencies came up this morning, and that's the reason why. But then, you know, like you always say, you find time for the things that are important to you. This is important to me, just like every other work that I've been involved with, and especially, you know, work when it has to do with, you know, our younger ones, those who we're sharing the baton with, and who will eventually leave the baton to carry the work that that has to be done. I must say, before I go on to anything else, congratulations to my fellow awardee. This is incredible. I thank you for the honor for directions for the MLK Leadership Award. That's right, Leadership Award. Now, the essence of what MLK stands for is a dream he had. He had to dream because in his present conceptualism or conceptual level at the time he lived his life, it was impossible to achieve the things that he perceived he needed to and what he saw for his people. But the beauty now is this, that we're living that dream. We're living that dream, working on to create the vision, a vision that will carry the next generation to the next level. And at this stage, I'll say this. There's an awakening and a reckoning in the Black DNA. And there's a new beat in the Black DNA. And those who will pay attention would hear it now and act on it. But eventually, everybody will hear it, see it, and feel it. Because just like what happened in the early late 50s, that really began in late 40s, where the entire Black people across the globe, from the Jomo Kenyatta, Nyerere, and all the other people who were foot soldiers to make it possible to achieve the greatest feat that ever took place in the entire Black consciousness in the 1960s. That association that took place resulted in something that was unique across the Black diaspora everywhere, both in the United States, in Africa, and the Caribbean. Anybody who was Black. It was the political liberation that Martin Luther King and his group and the works that began way back in the 1920s that eventually culminated into an association that resulted in that, the political freedom in the 1960s, where here in the US, it was civil rights. In the Caribbean, it was the independence. In Africa, it was also independence. That early, within a few years, in the early 1960s, all those countries were being independent. And that's why the new beat is coming up again. But the beat is different this time around, in the sense that we have technology, we have the exposure, we have the intellect, and we have more people who are more, not just aware, but enlightened about who they are, where they come from, where they're going, and the vision they create for their own people. And that's why people like Four Directions, and all the staff over there, Madam Ramatu, Dr. Daniel Buje, and a few other, and even Mr. Melvin that I just listened to. I mean, I thank each and every one of you for the great work that you've done. Understanding that when we come together, we make a difference, and that difference will create a unifying force that will truly put us on that pedestal where every Black person on earth will be respected based on their character and their value, and not just based on their color. But the difference, like I said, that's happening right now is the collaboration that's taking place. And that's the collaboration where each and every one of us will have to bring our resources. And some of you have heard me say this. Our resources means your time, your money, or your intellect. Some people have the time, they don't have the money or the intellect. Some people have the money, they don't have the intellect or the time. And some people have the money, but they don't have the time or the intellect. Whatever you have right now, we should bring it together. Because you know what? Power is most effective when concentrated. And thank God for technology. We'll begin to truly connect the dots. Because each and every one of us are champions in our individual spaces. But today I've met Mr. Melvin and all Ambassador Malik and all the other people who are here. Let us then connect that dot so that each or every one of us, the resources that we have, the time, money, and intellect, we put it together to truly create another wave of change that in the next 5 to 10 years, just like it happened in the 1960s, this time around, that happened in the 1960s that resulted in political liberation, this time around, what we're yearning for is economic and intellectual liberation. And that is what's going to happen. And that is what we're going to see and feel once again across the African and the Black diaspora. So as we gathered here,
Dr. Nelson, I think your mic just went on mute.
Dr. Nelson, we cannot hear you.
thank you once again for the gift, and thank you once again for the honor. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson. What a wonderful speech. Personally, what I took away the most overall was that united we stand, divided we fall. It's that simple. As a united force, both as Africans and Africans in the diaspora, we can release the full potential of Africa, and we can rise up to the occasion and make Africa great. Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson, for gracing us with your presence and for such wise words. We're blessed to have you in our midst. And once again, from Four Directions and all of us, congratulations on receiving this prestigious award. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Dr. Nelson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take the time to honor Miss O'Neill Masamba. She's unfortunately not here with us, but we'll also take time to read out her bio, congratulate her, wish her well in her endeavors, and also read the message that she sent to us. Miss O'Neill Masamba is a dual citizen of France and the Republic of Congo. She is emerging as a distinguished leader and recipient of the Four Directions 2024 MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award. She is the manager of the World Bank Group Youth Summit in both 2022 and 2023. Ms. O'Neill has showcased leadership in youth engagement at the World Bank. Prior roles include serving as a content co-lead and moderator for the World Bank Group Youth Summit in 2021 and being selected as a delegate in 2019. She's currently working in the transport unit as an African Diaspora Fellow in Infrastructure. Ms. O'Neill also acts as a senior advisor for the Youth Summit of the World Bank and leads youth initiatives in the transport sector and sub-Saharan Africa at the World Bank. She's an attorney admitted to practice in the state of New York. She brings legal expertise from her previous roles, including 3 years as a construction lawyer in Canada and worked in a major law firm in Luxembourg. Ms. O'Neill's commitment to youth, education, and inclusion is evident in her advocacy for minorities. Please join us in acknowledging her outstanding achievements and commitment to Africa's progress and the global community. Ms. O'Neill, I hope when you watch this, you feel our heartfelt congratulations to you on receiving this prestigious award. Now, allow me to read her message of apology as she could not join us today. So allow me to start by wishing you a happy new year and my best wishes for 2024. I apologize for not being able to attend the ceremony in person, but I was pulled to a last-minute work commitment. Nevertheless, I wanted to share a few words to express my deepest gratitude for the high honor that you've given me of being an awardee of the 2024 MLK African Diaspora Leadership Award. When I started working on the Youth Summit in 2020, I did it out of excitement, but also out of willingness to provide a platform for youth to be more impactful and to show that African youth from all over the world, regardless of their different socioeconomic background and characteristics, had the power to drive change and develop innovative solutions to tackle issues of development. Never in a million years I would have thought that it would lead me to this today. And for this, I am extremely grateful and humbled. But I would like to share the honor of this recognition with everyone who made the summit what it is today, the founder of the event, the committee members, and volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this event a success, our partners who supported our initiative and shared our vision, the World Bank Group, an institution that puts at the heart of the effort youth and youth empowerment, and the delegates who, by attending this event in person or online, made it more impactful. I am sharing this recognition with them. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. O'Neill. Our hearts to yours again. Congratulations. We celebrate you. Thank you for being a beacon of hope and for being a torchbearer for us all youth and for being a young woman who has inspired and shown us that surely it can be done and nothing is impossible. Once again, from the Four Directions team and from all of us, congratulations, Ms. O'Neill Masamba. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving on to recognizing the organizations that are also awardees of the MLK Leadership Award today. But before we go in, I would like to give it over to Miss Mary to give us a few remarks before I proceed to recognizing these awardees. Miss Mary, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Tatinda. Thank you. Wait. Thank you so much, Tatinda, and thank you for the audience and who are watching the MLK Four Directions Leadership Award 2024. So we are moving forward on the program. Highly appreciate all our audience, especially from the young people who are sending questions and also messages to encourage our awardees. We have something. We have our Sister Jewel Georgiev. She's from Liberia. She's going to speak on behalf of the youth. She's going to send a message for the young people. So welcome, Sister Jewel. Before we move forward with the program and also give the recognition certificate to the organization. I highly also appreciate the organizations and the individuals who are joining from all over the world, from the continent. Thank you so much for making it to the event. I know that there is technical challenges and also the time different zone, but you made the dedication to come to the event. You made a commitment to celebrate with our awardees and also our audience for young people. So thank you for that. Ms. Jewel, are you there? So then we just move on with the program and back to you, Mr. Tinda, for the organization recognition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Mary. If Miss Joel comes back online, we can always give her a few minutes right at the end of the program to give her remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the organizations that have been making impact, empowering the youth and inspiring us to keep going and to aim for change. We'll start off with the Nadem Foundation, which is based in India. A heartiest congratulations to Nadem Foundation. Thank you for all the great work that you've been doing. We'll continue to be inspired by you and the work that you've been achieving so far. Would also love to recognize the Guinean Women Development Foundation. Thank you, GWDF, for the commitment and work to inspire young girls and women, not only in Guinea, but across the continent and also across the globe. I would also like to honor the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, NAPEC. Thank you so much, NAPEC, for the dedicated and committed services that you've been providing, for the impact as well, and for inspiring young youth in Nigeria and diaspora alike. Would also like to recognize the 1000 Shades of Women Foundation International. Thank you for being a beacon of hope for young women and for being a beacon of hope just for women in general across the globe and also in the continent. Would also like to honor the Generation Next Network International Youth Conference. As a youth myself and an emerging leader, we're thankful for all the inspiration and the empowerment that you provide to youth here in the continent and in the diaspora alike. Would also like to honor Hallmark International Youth Club, to which I am a global ambassador for, and I can attest to the great work that you're doing. Thank you for your continued efforts in inspiring, mobilizing, and empowering youth. Thank you so much to all these dedicated organizations. From Four Directions and all of us, congratulations. We urge you to keep going. We urge you to keep moving. We urge you to keep walking the walk and talking the talk. Would like to give this opportunity to give any organization representative the opportunity to talk. Over to you. Do we have any representatives from the organizations who would like to give a mini remark or speech?
Well, I represent
Hello,
the Nigerian. Okay, go ahead.
Hello. Sorry. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Fall. I'm Mrs. Diallo from the Guinean Women Development Foundation. I'm connected from Sierra Leone right now, so if you want me, go ahead, I will.
Welcome, Ms. Hawa. Welcome, Auntie Hawa. She's the founder of Guinean Women Development Foundation, CWDF. Thank you for all the work that you have been doing in inspiring young women, also to educations. And a lot of young, she was one of my mentors, and a lot of young women around in the diaspora. She encouraged them to education. She also, out of high school, she brought a lot of young entrepreneurs who are now supporting other women to lead their life. Welcome, Ms. Hawa. Your camera is off.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everyone. Well, my camera is off, but I'll put it on. I'm in all the way in the bushes here in Africa. But I want to thank you, your organization, for recognizing our organization, the Guinean Women Development Foundation, for the work that we've been doing in the communities in the US and here in Africa. I come to Guinea, as you know, every year, and I come to Sierra Leone. I'm actually in Sierra Leone right now, as you can see. And done a lot of training since I've been here for young girls as well, especially in Guinea. And I'm going back actually to Guinea tomorrow. And I'm proud of you, Mary. I'm very, very proud of you for the direction that you take in, for what you're doing, and truly honored to be recognized, my organization to be recognized, along people like Melfoot, who are doing a lot of great work, who have been doing a lot of great work for Africa, for the continent, even though they were, as someone stated, in the background. And to get a recognition with an MLK name attached to it is truly an honor, because I started my activism work many, 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 many years ago when I was living on the continent, and continued it throughout the US and back to Africa again. So he is a reference for all of us. And so to be recognized with his name attached to the recognition is truly an honor. So I want to thank you for that. And the work continues. There is a lot to be done on the continent. Everybody has to play a part, a small part. And when we bring it together collectively, you know, definitely the continent will move forward. So I urge everyone to not only try to work together genuinely and to collectively come together and work in various parts. I am an African. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and yes, I was born in Guinea, but Africa is my home. Anywhere I go in Africa, it's home for me. So thank you again. I'm not going to be too long, and the best is yet to come, and we have to continue to work, and hopefully we will all meet and do greater things together. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ms. Howell. And we honestly echo your sentiment that the best is yet to come. We wish you all the best in your efforts and endeavors in empowering women. We're truly inspired by it. And we're always here to support you and to also keep cheering you on. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and making time to join us. Over to Mr. Bismarck of the Hallmark International Youth Club, that I believe is here representing Hallmark.
Good evening, everybody. I'll give the floor to the Vice President, Mr. Innocent.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really an honor to be here. The president is supposed to be available, but he was occupied with a lot of assignments. So he sent us a speech, which I will be glad to read for all of us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, members of the Four Directions Committee, I'm deeply honored and humbled to accept this prestigious award on behalf of Hallmark International Youth Club and the president himself, the Queen of Hallmark, Queen Vindra. It is a great gratitude that we acknowledge the Fourth Directory Committee for recognizing our outstanding contribution to the Africa diaspora community and our unwavering commitment to the principle of peace. First and foremost, I want to really express our heartfelt appreciation to the Fourth Directory Committee for the incredible honor. It is truly a privilege to be acknowledged for our effort in building unity, fostering cooperation, and promoting collaboration within our community. This award is most especially in our place of heart. In our journey to make a positive impact, we have encountered a lot of challenges, weakness, and transformative power of collective effort. This award serves as a reminder that we work in going beyond charity. It is about creating lasting challenge, uplifting communities, and fostering hope. As we stand here today, we receive this award and we reminded ourselves of the importance of unity, cooperation, and collaboration. This principle has been the guideline lived of our endeavors to make a meaningful difference in the life of many people. Therefore, unity, we have been able to uplift our voice, advocate for the right of well-being of communities. Hallmark International Youth Club have carried out a project in different countries across the world. The most recent project is Back to School Initiative, where over 1,000 students, young ones and children in Nigeria and Pakistan benefited for this project. Therefore, through corporate and foreign valuable partnership that we have established and implement impactful initiative and program. And through collaboration, we have enhanced the collective wisdom and strength of our community to address challenges that create opportunity for growth and empowerment. This accolade for our commitment to pursue boldness, breaking barriers, and redefining what is possible. It is served as a beacon guiding us in innovative collaboration and most importantly, continue making a meaningful difference in the life of those who needed it most. I want to say a very big thank you for honoring us today. And together we can make the world a better place. And the work is not yet done. We still have more to achieve. We say thank you to this great team for this honor. And this really means so much to us. And it's definitely going to make us do more as we all live together. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Innocent. It's a pleasure and honor to have you, sir. And as a global ambassador of Hallmark, I am truly proud of the youth club that we are and the great impact that we are doing across the globe and even in the diaspora. Thank you so much for giving those remarks on behalf of Queen Vendra and also on behalf of Hallmark International Youth Club. Now, we would also love to take the time to recognize the representative of 1000 Shades of Women Foundation International. If they would love to give any remarks, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. We are so honored for
Didi,
this.
can you turn your camera on, please?
I try on my side. It looks like I'm having some difficulty.
Okay, no worry. Thank
Yes, because I'm out of town, that's why.
Okay, Ambassador Didi Dior Fall, she's the founder of 10,000 Shades of Women Foundation International. Welcome.
Thank you so much. We are so honored for this recognition. You know, doing a humanitarian work is not easy, but we are so honored that Four Direction you recognize us and participate in our vision to extend economic empowerment as we recognize the significance of entrepreneurship, promoting trade. We create opportunity for families to be economically independent and enhance moral value of financial excellence to the global community. Supportive of the government effort towards sustainable development goals. Also, we make commitment to fortify the bridge between policy and practice and help women and all gender about our humanitarian effort. So thank you so much. This is truly, truly a blessing. And that's nothing else we can say. Just thank you. And Mary Apollo, we are very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Dr. Didi, for joining us, and we'll continue to celebrate and congratulate you on this prestigious recognition and wish you all the best in the future endeavors that you continue to do to this organization. Now, last but not least, we also have a representative from the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. Over to you, sir, to give your remarks on behalf of NAPAC.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be recognized for the works that NAPAC does, which is the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. We're based here in the United States. First started in California about 12 years ago, and we spread around the country here in the United States. We are a body of like-minded intellectuals who are devoted, committed to identifying, engaging, informing, educating, and mentoring young minds and individuals with the capacity and the trust to lead. And we do this in the area of policies, politics, youth empowerment, health, and education, and social justice. And because of that, we recognize the value and power of what politics and policies has in our lives. But as we did do that, we create the platform where we build political strength for economic power, because that's what it is. And those two go hand in hand. And as well as engaging and supporting other bodies in the community to completely elevate the Nigerian Americans and the African diaspora here in the United States. And the beauty of it all is that though it's a Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, NAPAC is open to everybody as long as you identify with the values and principles of what we were formed for and the work that we do. And I proudly say this, that our national treasurer is from the Philippines. And we have people who are leaders within NAPAC who are also from other countries. We contested an election here in the state of New Jersey, and the vice chair of NAPAC in the state of New Jersey is from Zimbabwe. So and she was a contested election and she won. She won in Nigeria. And so that's how we are open to what it is that we do in the community. So I leave it out here. Please come join us, come join NAPAC so that we can begin to raise minds who go into the political space for us so that we truly be at that proverbial table. Because like I say, if you're not at the table, you're the menu. And for so long, we've been the menu. Now we'll be at the table, being relevant and standing for what it is that concerns us all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson. Every time I listen to you, I feel like I'm in a crash course, history course. So thank you. Thank you so much for the brief history and for all the work that you and the organization continue to do. I'm thoroughly impressed by the diversity of it, that African in the diaspora, everybody, it's open to everyone. And like I said earlier, united we stand, divided we fall. So thank you for your continued efforts and for all the work that you continue to do. Now I would also want to recognize NADEM Foundation from India. They could not be here present with us, but they did send a message to Miss Mary Apollo. So Miss Mary, I hand it over to you to read it out to us. Miss Mary, I think you're muted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tinda. So one of the organizations that are based in India and we recognize this year in MLK Four Directions Leadership Award is called the NADEM Foundation. So Mr. Jerish Menon, he's the chairman. They couldn't join us and virtually. So they send us a message. Miss Mary Apollo, founder, president of Four Directions International. First of all, let me express my sincere gratitude for your great organization for extending this prestigious honor to NADEM Foundation. Respect Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and consider this award as precious. We are really obligated and thankful to your organizations. We promise that we will continue our effort to fulfill the dreams of the legend. I'm personally grateful to my brother, Dr. Daniel, and our partner team 54 Project. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this encouragement. Best regard, Jerish Manon. Thank you so much for NADEM Foundation. I think we have the last list on the organizations that they couldn't join. Generation Next Network, do we have any representative from Generation? These are wonderful organizations that have been doing work for the youth and inspiring a lot of young people. We don't have any organization, so just I would like to send my congratulatory message again for all our awardee for today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Miss Mary. Once again, congratulations to all the organizations. We truly hope you continue to do the work that you've been doing. It doesn't end with an award. It doesn't end here. This is only the beginning. May this inspire you to keep going. May this inspire you to keep mobilizing youth and resources to make impactful change. And may you know that the work that you're doing now is going to impact generations to come. So this is beyond us. This is beyond the now. This is for the future generations as well to live off the work that we put in today. Once again, congratulations to all our Ds. We are coming to the end of our program. Y'all have been a fantastic audience. It's been an amazing, amazing, amazing time to honor you. I see Dr. Daniel is up and ready. You all have been amazing. Before we conclude, I would like us to make our amazing, beautiful, and handsome selves, switch on our cameras, look at the screen, strike a pose so that we can take a picture. And then I think I'll hand this section over to Miss Mary and the team to steward us in taking a screen picture. But make sure that your camera is on, you have your best pose on. If it's a shining, dazzling smile, make sure you're dazzled up, and we'll take our picture to have it up on our social medias.
So thank you again for everybody, all the awardees and all the organization that has get the recognition for today. Actually, it's really our honor to organize this event with our partner, Team Project 54, and all the youth who dedicated they volunteer from their time to help us put this event together. Also, great thankful to Dr. Nelson. He has been with us since the first day we went to him and we tell him we want to organize this event. He has been helping us, supporting us, and giving us from his private time. He really give us his time and support us and put everything together. And all the other individuals who help us bring this organization together. Team Africa Four Direction, international people who are in the US, back in the continent, Ghana, Nigeria, South Sudan, some who are in the diaspora, Germany, Canada. Thank you so much. It has just, as I said before, Four Direction has just started with a dream that I have 17 years ago when I find my passion into leadership. And it took me time and dedication to build up my dream. And it was a journey of 17 years. Along the way, I met a lot of people who mentored me, who inspired me, who gave me the opportunity to practice my skills. I built also a networking with some people and mentors who have helped me along the journey build up my dream and establish these organizations. Get inspired with a lot of women in my life, my mother, my grandma, the people whom I used to share my vision with when I was younger. I want to do. My grandma, one time he told me, like, don't keep talking about what you are doing, what you want to do. Just take an action. When you take an action, I will be happy from that. So I think also this is the message and the encouragement a lot of people that have sent today. And we are going to do our best in Team Four Directions, and also working together with these awardees, working together with the committee, the MLK Four Direction 2024 committee, and with our part, with the youth who are just willing to work together. I know that we had the Four Direction also broadcast. We have created a lot of partners and network with youth from who volunteer, who are just reaching out to us and show us their interest to work together. So those also, we will continue building the network of young, inspiring people. Started from Africa, from the diaspora, United States, and all over. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations for the awardees. And thank you for Ambassador Malik Nadim Abid from the International Human Rights Commission, also for opening the event. And Ambassador Malik is one of the generous people who always mentor the youth and give us opportunities in the national platform. So now we're going to take a picture and just close the our event for today. Just young people, keep doing the good work and be the goals keeper. Thank you so much. Mary Apollo, again, I'm the founder of Four Direction.
Thank you, Miss Mary. I see that everybody is ready with their smiles and their cameras on. Please go, if you're not able to switch on your camera, don't worry, that's okay. But strike a pose, look cute, look good for the camera so we capture this moment.
Nelson, we have to have everybody on the screen. I'm trying. Okay, I think now is the right. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Miss Mary. Again, thank you all for being an amazing audience, people watching online, people that joined us here in person. Our heartiest congratulations to all the awardees. It's been such a great pleasure and so humble to have been in the midst of legends, heroes, and heroines. May you continue to do the great work. We are sojourning, continually going on. May God bless all your future endeavors, and I hope we meet again. Please be safe. Enjoy 2024 until we meet again. From my heart to yours, God bless you.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. You all have a nice time.
Okay, my job here is done. Thank you all so much for having me. I will see you when I see you, Mary and Mr. Jefta. Thank you so much for having me as your MC. I hope we collaborate again and we'll keep in touch.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Tatinda. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Jefter. Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Thank you, everybody, for we finally made it the event successfully.
Thanks to you too. Congrats.